Hey, yogis. I hope you're doing well. The semester is just about to begin, so before we get right into it, I want to show you a few things about Canvas. I know this is new for most of you this semester, so first I'm going to show you how to get into Canvas, and then once you're in, I'll show you what to do. So to get into Canvas, you'll just go to uncw.edu and click the Current Student tab up here at the top, and then you'll roll down here to Canvas. Imagine it. Once you click Canvas, it'll set you up for your login. This should be your regular UNCW username and password, so you can just type that in there. Hit login. Yours might look a little bit different than mine. I'm not sure what yours looks like right here as a student, but once you're here, you'll see these tiles, and you'll click PED 294 Costa Rica. Look, there we are, Manuel Antonio. So you can click in here, and that will take you to the course. Now, I'm certain this looks different, so this is from the instructor side, so I'm going to hop into student view. And it'll look like this. So on the student view, you will see the course overview at the top. This will remain persistent. This will always be here. There will be course resources. This will also be persistent. It will always be here. And then we'll move through the modules. What's kind of nice is you can collapse these, so that way it's not so much to look at one time. So it makes it a little more digestible. So first thing you need to do is make sure you go over the all of the information in the course overview. So if you click in here, it'll download a copy of the syllabus. I've sent this to you via email. You also got a paper copy of this in Costa Rica, so none of this should be anything new, but it is there for your viewing pleasure. There's also the PED 294 syllabus video that links right up to YouTube, so you can go in here and click that and watch that as a refresher. This is our PED 294 assignment schedule. So this is your BFF for the rest of the semester. This has all of our dates, including all of our labs, what we need to read, and what is due. Please note that everything opens on Mondays at 8 a.m. So each module will open at 8 a.m. on Mondays and will close on Sundays at 11:59 p.m. The only exception to this is our week one, because classes start on a Wednesday. So we have a little bit of a shorter week, but since we've already done half of our coursework in Costa Rica, I don't want to delay the inevitable. Let's just get right into it. So this week is going to be abbreviated. You'll need to work fast, but with integrity. And then moving into the remaining weeks of the semester, week 2 through week 8, those will all be open from Monday through Sunday. So if I were you, I would take some time, make sure you put all of this information in your personal calendar, set alerts on your phone so you know when everything is due, because remember, as mentioned in the syllabus, there are no opportunities to turn in late work in this course. We also have this cool little netiquette and online communication sheet. This was given to me by a fine and esteemed colleague named Jennifer Lozano. She has great resources, so please take some time to read through this. The netiquette and 12 ground rules for online discussions. Just because we're online doesn't mean we get to just talk in any way we want to. There's some rules for how we communicate online. So please acquaint yourself with these. If you are not following the netiquette guidelines and 12 ground rules for online discussions, we'll definitely have to have a conversation moving forward. If you don't follow the netiquette guidelines and the 12 ground rules for online discussions, we will need to talk about your overall grade. So please make sure you are familiar with these guidelines. The nice thing is we all know each other, so we have a sense of each other's tone and style of speaking, so we can put a voice and a face to our language and our communication online. That's a benefit we have that maybe other online classes don't. However, we still need to make sure we're following these policies. And we also have a discussion rubric. So make sure you are familiar with this. We'll have discussion boards with each module. They're only worth 3 points. It doesn't sound like a lot, but the discussion boards and the assignments at the end of the semester total up to 42% of your grade. So just because 3 points doesn't sound like a lot, it adds up to a lot in the end. So please make sure you are familiar with my expectations. So it has on here that each discussion board has an original post that answers the questions I ask. And then there's also 2 responses. The guidelines are here, 300 words for your original post, 150 words for your responses. Please make sure that you clearly and comprehensively respond to the associated discussion prompt. that you comprehensively respond to an original interpretive question for discussion about at least one of the weekly assigned readings. This is a typo here. I'll take this out. It's not a short story, poem, or play. It's yoga philosophy. But that this is related to our assigned reading. So make sure you're staying on topic. Introduce and explain your perspective with evidence from the text. This is important. You should be citing from the text that we are reading from. Follow proper writing conventions and cite sources when necessary, meet the minimum word count, and post it according to the directions and by the deadline listed in the schedule. The deadline is always 11:59 p.m. For the responses, these two are the same. There's just 1 point for each because you have 2 responses. So you respond to the discussion questions with applicable information and evidence from the text to answer questions and or solve problems. Again, evidence from the text. So we're not just responding like, yeah, me too, girl, right? We're saying like, yeah, me too. And on page, 22, the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali says, blah, 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 right? So we're giving more evidence. We're carrying a conversation. We're adding to the discourse of this study. Provide valuable and thoughtful explanation, insight, or feedback to your peers through constructive criticism, critiques, and input. This isn't your time to say that person's right or wrong, but, to get some input. Again, carry conversation. Follow the proper writing conventions and cite sources when necessary, meet minimum word count, and then post it according to the directions and by the deadline listed in the schedule. So just make sure you're familiar with that. Moving on. So the next tab that we have here are the resources. I'm not going to go through these one by one. These are more just for your use if you need them. Information about the Technology Assistance Center, information about the University Learning Center, Randall Library, and the online tutorial from Randall Library. This may or may not be helpful for this course, but I do think it will be helpful for your other courses. So if you need this information at any time, it will always be up here. And then we move into Module 1. So Module 1, each module will be formatted the same. So Module 1 overview. This is just a brief overview of what you're supposed to do. Essentially, this is just copy and pasted from our schedule. So you should have already seen this. If you go back and wait, we go into the to-do list. So this is a little bit more than, say, the schedule because it's things that, yes, that are due, but also things that I think you should be doing. So, for example, reviewing the syllabus, watch the syllabus video, put all the due dates on the schedule into your personal calendar, review netiquette and ground rules, review the discussion board rubric. Then there's also complete readings, discussion boards, complete assignment 1, transcribe lab 1 answers into prompt. And then I have a little bit here, do something kind for another person, right? So this is just your to-do list. It's important to read through this because it's not just things that are due that have deadlines. It's things that I have suggested that will help you be successful for that module. Backing up, then we move into Lab 1. So Lab 1, you'll know these questions. We've answered these before. The labs in each module are the labs that we completed in Costa Rica that you wrote in your journals. All I'm asking you to do is go in here, read these questions, find the answers in your journal, hit submit assignment, and then type it in here. Once you type in your answer here, you can then scroll down and hit submit assignment. Bada bing, bada boom. Easy as that. So you are welcome to add to the discussion that we had during our our breakfast classes in Costa Rica. However, you're not required to. In order for you to get credit for those labs that you did in Costa Rica, you have to submit them here. This is how I'm going to grade them. They're each worth 6 points. So please, please, please make sure you transcribe your answers into the lab. So it'll be 1 each week. The only one that we didn't do in Costa Rica because we ran out of time, I think it's Lab 7. It'll ask you about how do you feel before, during, and after yoga. You can answer that based upon how you remember feeling, or if you're practicing yoga right now, you can also answer that based upon, say, how you felt before, during, and after your most recent yoga practice. Another thing that's nice, instead of going back or to home like I've been doing, you can also move through the module by hitting previous and next. So we'll just hit next. And then this takes you to a Sutra 1.1 and 1.2 overview. It's a video of me that my internet's a little slow, so it's not populating, but it will populate for you. You can watch that on your own time. And then that moves us into our discussion board. On the discussion board, the prompt will always be right here, so you can read through the prompt. And then you can hit reply. If you hit subscribe, you'll get notifications of when folks are updating and posting on the thread. So here you can read through everything, get familiar with the questions, and then you can hit reply. Type in your answer, post reply, boom, done. And then when you're ready to respond to your classmates, you just hit reply here, type in your answer, post reply, done. Easy as that. These are also worth, like I said, 3 points. So just make sure you're doing these. I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but 42% over the long term is a lot of your grade. Hit next. That will take you to the next part. This again is a video, which my internet's being so slow today. I'm having a hard time getting things to load, but when it loads on your end, you can watch that. Then you can hit next. And this will take you to the Module 1 assignment. So here's just a little information about the assignments. I don't have a rubric for these because they're pass-fail. You do them and you do them right and you get credit. You do them wrong, and you don't get credit. It's not so much in these assignments that you can give me a wrong answer. The nature of these assignments is for you to start thinking about how these teachings are playing out in your life. The discussion boards will be public. The assignments will be private. These are things that you'll share with me, as much or as little as you want to share with me. And it's really not about whether the answers are right or wrong. It's whether or not you're thinking about it. So in this case, all the information is here that I'm asking you to do. You can read through this. The grading, again, is pass-fail. Your video must be submitted on time, meet the length requirement, be thoughtful, and answer each question. You can't really answer them right or wrong. So just do the best with the material and submit your stuff on time, and you'll be good to go. So then you can click back to home, and that's our whole module. So this is what's available for you now. Next Monday at 8 a.m., Module 2 will open. It will be open until Sunday at 11:59 p.m., and then Module 3, and so on. Again, no late work will be accepted. Over here, you can also move through, find your assignments this way. You can look at your grades over here. Look, I'm doing so good. I have 0 points. You can click people, and this will show you the folks in the class, and so on. I personally don't really find this to be super helpful. It's just sort of arbitrary information on the left. Everything can be found over here with the exception of people and chat. I probably won't be online very much for you to chat with me. If you want to talk, you know how to find me. You have my phone number, you have my group me, you have my WhatsApp, so we can chat other ways via other than Canvas, because I can't promise you I'm really going to be on Canvas that much. So anyway, this is your quick down and dirty guide to Canvas. There's a little bit more information over here. You can explore this at your own time, looking at the calendar. I don't really have anything posted in the calendar for you. Because I have everything, listed in, look at that, leave student view. I have everything listed over here in the assignment schedule, so you can find it that way. So if you have questions, let me know. Here's to a great semester, lots of learning, lots of yoga, lots of enlightenment. I'll talk to you soon. Bye, guys.